opted very wisely for, then Leviathans can just play it through off of their teamfight capability alone. And I think also it's just keep an eye on this Gilgamesh and the Kokolin specifically.
And maybe to that flip side, you know, what's kind of the Titans' win condition for them? You know, late game Leviathans are looking for those big team fights where the Titans kind of step their foot in. I
think there's a chance for this to turn into the Sino show early on, because Pele, early game to mid game, that's where she's known to be the most problematic, and Tartarus Titans, they just want the pressure.
We'll see who's going to be able to take game one. Will it be the Leviathans or the Titans? We'll take it down to the casters to find out.
This is a big one for the Titans, J-Mac, because they come off a win against the Olympus Bolts. And we got Sino back in the SPL. He'll be piloting the Pele here. My name is the Leviathans know that, so it won't be the attempted invade this time.
They are going for the Greater Scorpion, though. Sino's in the neighborhood, so is Aurora. I mean, this is a good chance to potentially get aggressive into the Leviathans. Wrong you. I feel like it is simultaneously great at peeling for his team with a hammer stun, say, but also setting up kills.
Ooh, Sino sees Panatom, first blood. Could be just around the corner. Panatom dodges out the initial dash in, but the damage from Aurora connects on the back end. The Tartarus Titans pick up first blood. Taiko drums could keep things interesting here, though, as Shinto sends some damage over the wall, and then the Thunder crash on in. Beads used to avoid the Stygian Torment, but watch out, Yarkor's got the leap, he's got the knockup, and he's got the return kill.
I mean, exactly what you need, but Aurora, now the one who's getting chased down, Hardcore is able to root him. They're going in.
Wow, the Leviathans are doubling down on an already return kill now, and they are happy. It's a double kill for Yarkor. The bet is paying off. Benji, Lord of the Afterlife, away. Paul nearly will get the kill onto Yarkor, but it won't happen. Shinto's got one, Yarkor's got a couple, and that's a big fight for the Leviathans.
What a great turnaround, and all of that, I mean, it goes back to the conversation we were just having on the Pele. How are
with that second tier Odysseus' bow item. So that feels pretty good. Now it's a jump on in from Panatom. Sino dodges out a little bit. The slow connects, but it's not slow enough to get the kill, but Aurora unfortunately won't get out. Zatman drives in the final nail, and Aurora goes down. The Leviathan. Panatom sends Benji very close to out of range there. So no follow-up on the end of that. It's a jump in from Aurora here, but Zatman able to mez, dash away. Sino is close by here, Zatman. You gotta be careful. He has beads, will use the beads, but there's just way too much damage. A bait in from Aurora. And now Sino on the board, back in the SPL, back in the kill feed. Peeled for some sad plants on these towers as the game goes on. The purple buff has felt pressure. The Leviathan's purple buff, to be specific, it's been this. Sino pairing with Aurora, they go in, they invade the purple, they get the purple. We'll see if the Leviathans have an answer back for it. Panatom jumps in, drops his ultimate. That one's caught out onto 3. Shinto, Thunder crashes forward. Raiju is no good here. Oh, but the stun on the other end, that'll set up for damage as Zatman dunks in and assists Shinto on his second kill of the game.
Pretty much any circumstance.
Hey, Gore, do you think Winged Blade is a good item right now? I think three.
Definitely seems like it.
I think three of the Tartarus Titans think that Winged Blade is a pretty good item. Hold that thought, Gore, as Zatman jumped on by Sino. And this is what you want your Pele to do. You want her to jump on your backline. A gets used by Zap, but what's that going to buy you but time? And Sino shuts him down, and his purple buff on cooldown now invaded by the Tartarus Titans. Sino off to a great start in his return to the SPL. Pyro now started up, melted down, and not secured by the Leviathan. Stolen away by the Tartarus Titans. When it rains, it pours, and now the Titans have themselves about a 2K gold lead.
I mean, that is maybe the dream if you're the Titans. Like, you've had not necessarily a rough early game, but it was 3-1, then 4-1 for a little bit there. You were only able to pick up a couple of kills since then as the Titans, but you've really made a big difference. Now Cyclone's going for a huge rotation.
Oh, man, now we're diving the solo lane, and Cyclone Spin, he pays with, or gets a kill for his payment of 1 ultimate, and now the Turnabog 2 levels up over Zatman, 2 levels up over Panatom. Sino's going to be there, and so it's another invade. Zatman, of course, cannot walk forward. Now it's fight around Shinto. He still hit that power spike, but not strong enough to avoid the stun, and then Sino right on the other side, reads the Thunder Crash, dives in, gets the kill onto Shinto, but now locked in place, and Zatman plus tower equals death for Sino, but Zatman locked into place as well. And so Cyclone Spin makes this a 2-for-1 trade. Paul makes it a 3-for-1, and the Tartarus Titans rolling forward.
And just being able to get aggressive, I mean, you could zone out the other two pretty easily. Yes, they have some damage, but not enough to get to the backline. I mean, maybe kill a Roar because his health bar is so low, but no. That's just good engage, good rotation.
Great equalizer.
Specifically, as you had highlighted, Sino was on the purple buff, rotates over to mid, waits for the Thunder Crash into the tower, then goes in with the ult, and gets themselves set up perfectly for a couple of kills. Unfortunately falls to the tower, but it doesn't matter because the rest of the team gets that and then some with this FG.
The great equalizer, Gore. This is not equalized to the game, especially if we get some kills on the Leviathans and we just rotate over and use the front line to tank it up. Draugr buff is there, but how long will it matter? Sino blinks forward, looks for Zatman, but Zatman slides on away. Watch out, the Pele's taking a lot of damage, and all of it's from Shinto. We wondered when the Raijin would show up, and the answer is now.
I mean, that's the Pele giveth, Pele taken away, and now Aurora's going to get caught out. You were just talking about the Raijin, and he pops off exactly when they need it. A good defense. So Cyclone Spin is going to be crucial to try and knock down this Phoenix.
You are 10k gold in the lead, but you were 12k when the FG buff started, so the Tartarus Titans down a couple thousand gold. Stun onto Panatom keeps things even here for Benji. Last couple sets of beads coming back online for the Titans. 5 seconds on Sinos, 10 seconds on Auroras. Everyone fully stocked up on actives for the Leviathans. Full strength fight. Aurora knocked against the wall, uses the Stygian Torment, but Panatom's got the damage, and so does Shinto. We've already seen this story before. Raijin had the damage. He's got 1 kill in this one. Zatman dunks in. Sino dashes away, but Zatman can close the gap. 3 down yet again from the Titans.
And now you're in a good spot. They will respawn before a Fire Giant can fast rotation, but nowhere near as fast as Cyclone.
Zatman's going back to base. So Zatman only dealt with the Oni wave. The regular wave will crash where it is and is actually going to push out a little bit here for the Leviathans. Aurora blinks into the back. Shinto, we use the Taiko drums. And look at the sustain that keeps Raijin in the fight. And Shinto puts down Sino. Cyclone Spin has used his ultimate here as well.
Oh no!
Dueling out with the mid laner, and Cyclone Spin wins this one. But in the meantime, the Tartarus Titans, they've lost 2. They've lost 3, and the Leviathans roar back in this game. It's Benji alone with Paul, and it might be Paul all alone before long.
I mean, Paul has nowhere to go and help in this engagement. Benji's going to be gone before he can rotate in, and now he might have just gotten spotted out. Luckily, that invisibility is there. They'll see the clone. They know he's
Paul
somewhere
didn't get to use his ult
in the neighborhood. Didn't get to use his ult. I mean, Cyclone didn't get to use his relics. That was a great play from Shinto, being able to turn that around. I want to say a great play from Cyclone to go in onto Shinto, but he just barely was able to get that kill.
Can Paul make a big play here and steal away the FG? No, Panatom is going to have something to say about it. 20 seconds left on Shinto's respawn. A little bit long to delay here. Paul finally uses his ult. Turns into Osiris. Stay alive a little bit longer, but then Panatom times it well. The re-engage, my goodness. Both actives used, both actives time out, and so does his life. And Panatom staggers out. That's a big these last few fights. This kind of hybrid build from the Gilgamesh has been really, really chunky. Wrong you. He transforms in a bit of a tough spot, takes almost all of his health and damage. And now the dive in from the Tartarus Titans. Wrong you lives on. Sino's got something to say about it though, but so does Shinto, who ends up getting traded out by Paul. Now Panatom low health in the backline. Is the Phoenix defense gone right? And the Tartarus Titans will at least get 2 members of the Leviathans. Oh, but the re-engage from Yarkor can set up Zatman. There's big damage onto all the Titans here. Can the Apollo make the play? The answer's no.
All right, look, we're going to see, is this season 0 Zatman who's about to dash in on a bunch of low
yeah, wait a second. Where's Zatman going to go here? Where does Cyclone Spin?
I think he's waiting for him to come back down.
Drop back down. Yarkor gets the knock-up, and it's the solo pick on the Cyclone Spin, but in the meantime, the Tartarus Titans on the Enhanced Fire Giant, and they secure the Enhanced Fire Giant, but Zatman, he's alone in the back.
And he's doing it!
He's got a kill, but it's immediately traded out. But the Leviathans have got what they came for. They get 3 picks. They only lose Zatman in return. Now Benji and Aurora, the healthiest members on the Titans, locked into the tier 2 towers. A thunder crash forward from Shinto, and the Taiko drums taunt them back to death.
I mean, Aurora just barely staying alive through that one. Taken down. Benji versus the world.
Yeah, and I think the world's going to stand a little bit taller after this one, Gormizer. 4 members of the Leviathans will see to it that we don't go an hour long. It's the pick on a Cyclone, and then the rotation in from Zatman at the end closes out game number 1 here. Benji will have a little something to say about it, but before long, the Leviathans will fell this Titan, they'll move us on to a game 2.
That is one of those interesting conversations that you have to flip the script. This Titan better fall sometime soon.
It's going to fall, don't worry.
And it will. Benji, look, there's some low health bars there. Give him 5 more seconds, he's maybe making something happen. But I think this is a good spot. Again, flip the script. Put Zapman in those.
Morgan Le Fay, 2-1 of the last 3 games that they've played it. Curious how the performance will go in this matchup. Baba Yaga for Paul, as we've highlighted with it. What's kind of the win condition we're looking for the Titans in order to push themselves for a potential Game 3?
Well, I mean, Sino is, like I said, one of the best Nejas to ever do it. So if he's able to find consistent picks throughout the early to mid game like he did with Pele, could be disaster for the Leviathans.
Let's see if the Titans can do it and bring us to a Game 3, or is it going to all come crashing down with the Leviathans 2-0? We'll find out with Dulcin and Gormizer.
Well, I'll have to wait and see if the Tartarus Titans can turn this one around. Level 5 on the Phantom, you imagine similarly to the Pele. Level 5 for Sino is going to be kind of that go button. Level 5, mentioned, already there for Phantom. Drop kick, connects on a Cyclone spin, but the beads used, so no stun. Look at the jump back in! And the damage from Zapman, who's hit level 5. He's got the ultimate as well. Bye-bye to Aurora. He'll come crashing down to Earth, and Panatom snags the kill.
I can't think of a worse trio to fall in. Panatom, Zap, and Rongyu just waiting for it to drop down.
What? Now there's some pressure pushing back. Luckily, there's no purple buff here. Could be a dive in on a Cyclone spin. Cyclone's got beads. He's got his ultimate as well, but my goodness, the damage is there. Rongyu ends up picking up the kill with the DOT, but most of the damage done by Panatom, who's still tanking up that tower. Windfire wheels from Sino are there. Aurora's coming back from base. Going to be awkward for the Gilgamesh. Maybe it's not. He'll just leap over the wall.
Now he has Rongyu for is something that's manageable and easily done.
We have a grouping around the Gold Fury. For the first time, we've seen it teased by both teams, but neither one is committed. Now the Leviathans, the first team to commit. Sino around the left side here. Gold Fury taking low. It's a drop kick onto Benji, and that sends the Cerberus right out into outer space as Zapman hits the ultimate. Gold Fury has been reset here. Benji crashes back down to Earth, but they haven't completed the kill yet. Yarkor and Paul, in the meantime, just dueling it out on the right-hand side, but Shino's picked up the first kill.
Yarkor starts that off with a great cage, and he's distracted 2 of them. I mean, at this point, Benji's down, but Aurora's low.
There's a great fight for the Leviathans, especially if they can consider they continue moving things forward. Rongyu will not go down. That would have been
enough on the other side. Well, maybe Yarkor has a different question. He's going for Cyclone.
Whoa, that's big damage on a Cyclone spin, but Cyclone spin lives on. That just shows you what some of the easy damage setup can do there, but Sino is stuck around. He had his ultimate that entire fight. It's got to be a kill on his Zapman, and it is, and Sino finds the first kill of the game for the Titans, and that is 45 seconds without Zapman. Mid-lane for Shinto. He's got the Soul Gem online. Paul does not over the Baba Yaga on the other side.
And like you said, a little bit of healing that can start to spread throughout the team and maybe make things a little more high impact for the Leviathans, especially if you start to open the conversation of well, let's say a fire giant. We went so long with no objectives.
We had a tier 1 tower dive where Benji ended up dying in that previous engagement, so that's going to give the Leviathans a 1-man advantage around this FG, and Benji is a big initiator for the Titans. They're going to be missing him, but Aurora is the other one who's been initiating, and the Titans are going to be missing him as well. Sino over by the blue buff here, the leap in from Rongyu, the closed gap from Zapman, and the whirlwind erasing steal, the icing on the cake, and the Leviathans find 3.
I know there's no bad blood between the Leviathans and Sino, but if you just played that clip, they hate that, man. They wanted that Naja dead.
Tossing some crits the way of the FG now. Benji returns back from the dead, turns his eyes towards the FG. It's actually done some decent damage. What's happened to Panatom's health bar? I can ask the same question for Rongyu. Fire Giant has not been reset, and so to get taken down by the Leviathans, but they've lost Yarkor in the meantime. Can the Titans close this gap onto Rongyu? The answer is yes, and so Rongyu might be the sacrifice here to keep the rest of the Leviathans alive, but look! He's
going for the pull
back in! Oh no! We don't know how this one will turn out, but hey.
Hey, wait, we could play that game, so how does this how does this go? Look, Shinto and Zap are right there.
They're in a good spot. They're in a good spot.
It's 2 tanks that are about to land right in front of you. I'm going to peek over your shoulder where I can see it and know that they are making things even more difficult because they're able to plow down through waves and waves. And they're grouping up as 5. This could be all onto the Leviathan.
Stun onto Benji, and half of his health is gone. A cage keeps Aurora right where he is, but he's going to jump right on out of it. And this is where the Baba Yaga can spread out some damage, but not if the rest of the Leviathans jump in. Caledonian Boar stuns up a couple members of the Leviathans, and Whirlwind of Rage and Steel serves up Benji on a silver platter. Will they even get a kill on Rongyu? Zapman wags his finger and says no way. And this is dire straits now for the Titans. You got Sino and Cyclone Spin on the defense.
Oh, Sino goes in. He's going to get one, but is he going to be able to get away with it? Leviathans outrageously, exclamation point on the in, say no. But that is a good pullback. You get rid of the Hunter. You get
Think of Ragnarok as a I'm delivering you a kill on a silver platter. Haven't seen it yet this game. Maybe here in this FG fight we will. Not yet enhanced. That's going to come in 50 seconds if we can wait that long. Benji goes in, loses half of his HP, and now Yarkor has dropped the cage.
Oh my God!
And Sino go to the grave is the answer. Whirlwind of Rage and Steel keeps Cyclone Spin right where he's at. No beads, no Aegis, no chance. There's an ultimate from Zapman on the back of this fight as well. And that'll send Cerberus crashing right back down to Earth, and the damage will follow on the back end, and Gore the Leviathans, I think, have now done enough.
And a nice little Soul Gem proc there to get the Leviathans a little more health to fight with. Yarkor does not care about anything in the world. He's chasing Paul into the Titan room. I mean, this is a team that is showing some dominance this time around, and it's a roar. It's Paul versus the world.
I say GG.
I said that last time, too.
I know, you said that last time, and similar to last time, the world is looking pretty strong right now. Titan under attack.
Oh,
drop kicked against the pillar and no chance to defend, as the Aegis will just delay things further. It's the D side at the end of the day. 30 minutes in, the Leviathans will end the set.
Take it a little quicker, and honestly, look and replay that last fight if you want to see why the Leviathans are so dominant. I know, yeah, no, there's not. I was gonna give him. I was gonna give him the credence, right? You present it in case, but he didn't do anything though.